What's up, Rangers? Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve, and today we'll be going to be making a custom Zilla action figure. What this is a Zilla Bandai vinyl, really small one. We're gonna make him fully posable, and at least that's the game plan. So, what would be nice is he'll kind of scale with the Godzillas, well, at least like Heisei. Anyways, but what I got here is I have some ball joints that are primarily meant for model kits. You can order these off eBay. These actually came in really quick. So I wasn't expecting these to show up till probably like almost June. And I already got these bad boys. So what I got here is, it's ball joint set. They call them ball joints. These ones are actually ball joints. Just to get a couple out of here, because I'll be using these for this guy anyways. But you get little ball joints that just should pop into here. There we go. And then this will let you kind of move all over the place. And then we got these ones, which are more like your typical joints. And was the ones I was kind of concerned, but it looks like I should be alright with the way it is. Well, else, make sure you got a clean review table or a clean table when you go to work on things. Also, make sure your pieces don't go flying. But I'm gonna be using these for like elbows, the hands, shoulders. I'll probably still try to stick with the ball joints, but you don't need crap ton of motion. But ooh, these are nice and stiff too. That's gonna be cool. And then they also come with the little plates too for covering. But to make the figures, I'm going to be using these just because I can kind of control the colors, so like they'll all be black, which is going to be sort of nice. Two, it's the exact same joints for everything, so like I know these are going to be nice and useful. And you're not going to get a bunch of random colors, which is what I like too. Like if you spend a little more money on these ones. But not even much. Like one of these is $4. I think it was $4, and it was about $10 after shipping. So which is why I ordered multiples. But you get quite a bit because like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You get 13 joints just on one of these, and that would almost do this guy. Granted, I wanted some varieties for doing this, so I went with this because I also want to put some joints in the tail as well, and ball joints are definitely what you want for that. These would work, but you'd only really get like one good motion, and then you'd have to do like the Revoltech problem where you'd have to like rotate it if you wanted to go sideways, while ball joints would just let you do whatever. But anyways, so we gotta cut this guy apart. Got my little blade here. So looking at some other people that have done them, my cuts are primarily going to be on the head here, hand, elbow. I leave that alone. At the knee. Probably do the foot. I just got to figure out the way I'm going to cut that, because ideally the knee would be probably right here. Because I've seen it where they cut both of them, but that is like, you cut here, here, stick your joint, and then this kind of covers it. Which could work. Well, I guess I could cut here, see how it would kind of sit, and then go from there. And then we do a cut here at the waist, the neck, and then tail. Just probably like a couple sections going down. But anyways, gotta get this guy torn apart. I could probably heat this up, but smaller vinyls are pretty easy just to go to town with. As I say that, as they get stuck. So, ideally what would happen is this ball joint's going to sit in here. That'll hook into the shoulder, and then you can, once I put some epoxy in there, it'll keep it in place, and then you can kind of move that around. God, that fits perfect. Well, alright, well, we're doing that. That worked about way better than I thought it was gonna. Oh no! That isn't gonna sit right though. The rod is too long. The rod is too long. Ah, poopy. Well, I might be able to angle it a bit. Oh, but I don't want to cut it because then that's going to be less. It's going to go in there, but I think I got to cut them just slightly. And then it'll be kind of wrapped in epoxy. So I guess we're doing that. So I just want to take, not with my good one, about half of that off. We'll try here and then pop these back in. There we go. Alright, so that works. But anyways, so pretty much snipping the parts. They're just going to sit in here. I got epoxy putty them. I want to leave a little bit of the stump so there's something to grip, so it's not just going to shift around on here when it gets done. So you want to leave a little bit of a nub. So I'm just going to start cutting this. When you go to cut this, I'll show you guys with the tail, and then I'm just going to kind of figure everything else out as I go. I might leave the camera running, but what helps, and I can show you, well, I'll show you on these parts. The little connecting pieces I'm not going to need anymore. So you take a hairdryer, you heat up the vinyl, and then you want to try to get as straight of a cut as humanly possible. Like that. And then if I need to, I could trim some of the parts off here. Just be careful not to go into your thumb, because that'd be a bad time. To be honest, I think I need a new blade. So, I got that part off, so then when I put the joint on, it'll still be able to kind of move around. So I'm going to do that to all these other sections, and then cut back to when I go put the putty in. So I think I've more or less got everything figured out now. It's just stuffing everything with epoxy putty so that it'll stay. So I'm going to take a decent little chunk, because whatever I don't use, I'm going to toss it into this Godzilla that I got over here. I'm doing these videos a little out of order. And then all I'm going to be doing is just filling crevices. I might have to like shave a little bit of vinyl off a little bit here and there, just in order to get everything to kind of fit sort of correctly. And then once it cures, I can go back through and start adjusting things accordingly to what I need it to. Alright, I'm just going to let this camera run. We'll cut back to when I got to do something new. But for the most part, it's just filling up crevices and not really detailing stuff right now.
sadly, I filmed me kind of putting them together a bit, and then realized that I have this really bad problem of when I'm filming, I really like holding this stuff close to my face, and the problem is you guys can't see it. So I might have to try to work this out a little better, especially if I plan on doing this more of a full-time thing, because I'm definitely going to film a lot of it. I'm going to have to work on something. But anyways, as you guys can see, tail's moving. We got our posability down. His legs move. His knees bend. His feet bend. This foot. That arm comes off. This foot bends. Get our posability. It's on a ball joint. That's why that popped out. But I don't know. That one's kind of loose. Seemed alright when I first did it. But there we go. You can kind of work that out. Might have to clean it up. I'm thinking it's just the epoxy putty. But you get rotation there. You get your bend at the elbow. There's not much I can really do about the arm here popping out. I can maybe try adding a little bit of thickness to the joint, but for the most part it's going to be just an issue. But you do get your hand wiggle, same with the other arm. Can rotate, move around, and it's got posability. Head, I still gotta get this a little tighter, but you can get your up and down. You can rotate it around. Same with the mouth. Lower jaw now opens and closes. Same with the upper jaw. Can also move along with it, so depending on how you want to pose it. So from the looks of it, I'm probably just going to be adding a little bit of epoxy putty just around here just to kind of hide the joint a little better. And then it's mainly just going to be like hiding joints. And just trying to make this look overall prettier. Because his head does stick out a little bit farther. But I mainly did that just so I can pose. And you can kind of rotate the heads too, the mouth around too a little bit if you wanted. So now I gotta sit here. Oh yeah, there's also the waist can go forward and back. This part I'm more or less probably just leaving alone outside of just cleaning it up and adding a little bit of detailing. So he's gonna have a little ball tummy. Maybe add a little bit to the top of the stomach, I'm looking. Like just kind of bend that in a little bit more. But I still want it to be able to, like him to rear up really nice and him to move forward really nice. But pretty pleased with the posability right now. Imagine if I do some more of these, I might try to play around with a little more. But this I'm overall pretty pleased with. So, like I mentioned, now we're gonna do a little touching up because I can kind of do my cleanup here. Which is just gonna be kind of trimming things. I gotta get this elbow in a little bit better. Which I could probably just Dremel it a little farther in. That's probably what we're gonna have to do there. But I'm going to add some epoxy putty to a couple of the spots that I definitely need to add some epoxy putty. And then just adding some cleanup items, and then we'll cut back to painting. But all I'm going to be really doing here, and I'm probably not going to film it all because I'm going to be moving around a lot, so it's going to be kind of hard. I'm going to sit here, I'll sculpt this stuff. Maybe if I do more of these, because I've had a lot of increases, so I just posted what I was just doing with this on Instagram. Maybe get a little bit more in each video. We'll kind of show different steps. But for right now, this one's primarily just going to be the how I sort of did the articulation video. I'm going to peel that off real quick. But alright, so I'm going to work on this, and then we will cut back to when I'm painting. Alright, so we got them all set up. He's all posable now. The parts I kind of want to fill it in are filled in. So now it's just painting them up and making them look good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let the things are falling over. Just let the camera run while I paint this guy. It's going to probably be browns and some blues, because I'm pretty much just going to make look like this guy. Is what we're going for. I might do the tummy a little bit different,
But outside of that, this is primarily the coloring I'm going for. So this is going to be browns and blues for the most part. So let's get into it.
Tiny Zilla in all of his little miniature glory. So, decided to try to paint him more in the film color scheme, which, if you guys didn't know, Zilla, for the most part, especially if you see the animatronic in some of the shots, has more of like a leather appearance to him, with some grays and blue highlights. If you ever look up the Default Real X Plus, it's actually fairly accurate for what you usually see. The grays and like the gray, silvers, and blues are generally what you see on the action figures, which isn't quite correct for the film anyways, at least for certain shots. So wanted to go with the more movie look, just to make him a little bit more unique looking. So he's got the tanned undertones with blue highlights, and then I did a gray wash over top of them just to kind of mute some of the coloring on the body anyways, and gives them a little bit more color variety. You can see on the side of the neck here, highlighted the spines in more of the blue, so it's got a bit of a darker tinge than the rest of the body, so it stands out better. And then it comes along the tail here. For the head, painted the eyes, which have about 4 different colors in them. And then also had to paint the teeth, which was interesting because he doesn't, the figure didn't have teeth. So I just kind of highlighted the tops of the rim there. And then painted the inside of the mouth in a flesh tone. And then, yeah, that's pretty much about it. There's just a lot of dry brush up to that. And then he's also now fully posable. So you can move his head up and down. You can rotate it side to side. Same with the mouth. Opens and closes. Same with the top of the mouth. Will also shift up and down depending on the look you want to go for. So if you want to have it more fully closed, you kind of bring the head down on the top a little bit. Then for his arms are on ball joints, so you can rotate those around. This guy has a little bend at the elbow. One thing, these joints will kind of shift in and out. It's not much really do about it, but that'll go forward and back, so you can rotate it there too. Hands on a ball joint, so you can rotate that all the way around, and a little bit of wiggle side to side. Then for the chest region, you can move that forward and back, rotate it, so you get pretty decent upward motion and downward motion. I kind of wanted to try to keep it in the realm of realism, so it can't do like a super crazy bend, but it does it enough. And for the legs, go forward and back. They're on ball joints, so you can get a nice range of rotation. The knees got a nice bend to it. You can also rotate it at the top of the knee, a little bit side to side. Same with the feet, can go forward and back. Rotation at the top of the ankle. And then each of these tail sections are on a ball joint, so you can get a little bit of play with it. The only thing is, because of the way it's bent, it's generally going to still have a little bit of the bend to it, but you can still get definitely more out of it than what it previously had anyways. And if you really want to rotate it, you can kind of get it straight, but still quite a bit of playability with them. And just to show you guys, the main challenge, especially with these joints, is just because of how small of a figure this was. Grabbing a MonsterArts just to kind of show you guys the scale. It was definitely a fun little challenge trying to get all these joints into something that small, because some of these pegs were originally like this, as long as the arms. So it was definitely a lot of chopping and gluing and just fitting, but definitely worth it in the end. I think he looks really good. He actually compares pretty nicely overall to the MonsterArts. I would say he's definitely a lot more akin to a Revoltech in appearance, but Zilla could definitely hold his own here. And he'll be going out here to his home in the near future. But anyways, that's it for this video. Make sure if you guys are into the Zilla, let us know in the comment section below, and help us defeat those kaijus by hitting that like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. We also got Instagram, Patreon, Pinterest, Facebook. Guys, like keep up to date with the channel. Donate, we greatly appreciate it. And if you guys also would like to keep up with the Do It channel even better, there's that little annotation bell at the top, so when we post new videos, you guys will see it. And we'll see you guys also in the next video. Bye-bye.